We recently sat down to compile the best co-op games of 2022 so far. Shameless plug, go check it out. But that was the past. We're sitting here in late August on the precipice of fall to look to the future. Are we all just gonna sit around and play V Rising for the rest of the year? No, even if I wouldn't be mad about that, there's loads of great games still coming in 2022. And we're here as the premier co-op outlet that we are to keep you informed. Like our 2022 so far video, this is not a ranked or list video. We're simply compiling games that we find notable and are releasing between now and December, as well as some that don't have firm release dates but are still slated to come out this year, fingers crossed. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get to it. Here are the best co-op games still coming in 2022.
Long before we discovered that Pokemon Violet and Scarlet was going to have some form of co-op, there was Tem-Tem, the massively multiplayer creature collection adventure set to finally rival Nintendo's mega franchise. It took 2 years, but it's releasing in full in just a couple of weeks. The buzz around Tem-Tem has always been positive. User scores have it at a very positive on Steam, a 78 on Metacritic, and way back at the beginning, IGN gave its early access build a 7 out of 10. Since then, there have been plenty of additions, and 1.0 will continue that trend. New ways to battle, a new house building mechanic, and seasonal goodies and cosmetics to look forward to. So many of these games make me wish that Gabe and I didn't have full-time jobs, and Tem-Tem is one of them. Are we squids? Are we kids? These are questions that no one has answers to. But on September 9th, we'll be one step closer with the release of Splatoon 3, and boys, I am pumped. Nintendo is finally dropping all barriers and making this game everything we wanted Splatoon 2 to be. Remember how hard they made it to play with a friend in Splatoon 2? Sometimes you legitimately end up on opposite teams as your friend. Not anymore, with a dedicated lobby system just for playing with your buddies. Remember how the standout PvE mode was locked behind actual shift hours you'd have to wait for? Again, they made our dreams a reality and opened the game mode up to every hour of the day. I know Splatoon 3 is a combo of PvP and PvE and single player, but I don't care what the haters say. I'm talking about it here on this video on our channel about co-op, and we're gonna review it later and you're gonna like it. Another game finally releasing out of early access is Grounded from Obsidian. Similar to Tem-Tem, there have always been really good buzz around Grounded, with user reviews on Steam sitting at very positive. Most reviews around the time it was released in early access recognized the potential too. Ever since we reviewed The Forest, we've been itching to get back into a solid co-op survival game with a good story, and Grounded looks to be able to deliver on that. 1.0 will mark the release of a full story campaign on top of everything else. Again, when can we quit our jobs and do this full time? I really hate the fact that we're probably gonna miss out on this one too.
Starting things off in October with Gotham Knights, which is finally due to release on October 25th for PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. We're looking forward to this one, as the co-op has a lot going for it. For one, playing as Nightwing and Batgirl in a game is already pretty sick, and we get to do all our crime fighting in the semi-open world sandbox that is Gotham. I've said this before, but I'm calling Batgirl. Or I'll settle for Nightwing. But I will not play as Red Hood. That simply will not do, bro.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
With my humble demands out of the way, there's also some light RPG elements in this game, with you being able to unlock specific gear for your character, as well as investing in 4 different skill trees. Add to the fact that some skill trees are geared towards supporting your partner, and you have the recipe for a great co-op game. There's a couple things that do have us worried for this game, but how about we keep the good vibes going and hope that it delivers. Launching 3 days later on October 28th is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, not to be confused with the 2009 version Andrew and I used to play in high school. This new title acts as a sequel of sorts to the 2019 Modern Warfare, which isn't to be confused with the 2007 Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Man, this whole same title thing is so freaking confusing. Why not just come up with a new title? Okay, rant over. This new game will feature a Spec Ops co-op mode for up to 4 players. Similar to the co-op mode of the 2019 game, this will be a wave-based mode with several different missions and settings. One thing the team at Infinity Ward have said about this mode is that it'll feature a new evolved AI system that should prove more challenging than before. We're honestly a little bummed that this doesn't have a co-op campaign, but this mode could be pretty cool, so we'll be keeping an eye out for when it comes out. On to what is likely our most anticipated game on this list, we have Sons of the Forest releasing sometime in October. Really wish we had a release date by now, as the game was already delayed from its original May 2022 date, but launching in the spookiest months of the year is also not a bad idea. We played The Forest earlier this year with our friend Garrett and had a very fun and spooky time with the game. Even so, there's so much the sequel could improve upon, and that has us really excited. There hasn't been too much specific information on the game, but from the trailers, it looks like just more of The Forest. And you know what? That's alright with us.
Skull and Bones is actually releasing, and I've just looked outside and I can report pigs are flying, because seriously, this is crazy. It's been 5 years since Skull and Bones was first announced at E3 in 2017, and I'm sure even longer since the start of development. This is an open world pirate sim where you can play with up to 3 other friends, and sometimes face off against other players too. It's supposed to be a very alive and evolving multiplayer system, which before launch can feel a bit murky. The gameplay looks like a lot of naval combat, some very less than inspiring resource management, and maybe some alligator fishing. Look, I like Black Flag as much as the next guy, but I'm a little skeptical here. Feel free to prove me wrong, Ubisoft. Goat Simulator 3 is coming in November and will have 4-player co-op locally or online. You travel through the world, causing mass chaos as a goat. Judging by this gameplay we're seeing and my keen critical eye, that is indeed the case. A lot of chaos. This is 2013 humor at its absolute peak, so seeing it in 2022 is a little bit jarring, but I can't lie. Goat Simulator is my wife's second favorite game of all time. I might actually end up playing this. The next mainline Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet, are looking to finally shake the series up after a lackluster Generation 8 in my opinion. That means an entirely open seamless world, a non-linear progression path, 3 different stories, and up to 4 players online co-op. Now all of this is still pretty vague. We're not entirely sure what it means for it there to be co-op in a Pokemon game. Is it taking pictures together, showing off your Pokemon, roaming the open world? Just not sure what that actually amounts to in gameplay. We do know that you can work together in this game's version of Gigantamax battles. They're Terra raid battles. It's actually a little different than typical battles that you can attack and heal whenever you want, not in any order. So that's a lot, and we'll just have to see. Please be kind to us, Nintendo, and make this work. A much smaller indie title releasing in November is Ship of Fools. It's a co-op roguelike where you and your friend work together to keep your ship safe as you chart dangerous waters. It'll have both couch and online co-op, which is a major plus for us. This game has always piqued our interest since its initial announcement, so we're hoping we can find time to give it a shot during a very busy November. Continuing with our busy November, we've got Evil West, and boys, it looks pretty sick. Vampires have taken over the American frontier, and it's your job to hunt them down with a crazy combination of electrified hunting tools, customized guns, and unlockable perks. The game advertises 2-player online co-op, but we haven't seen any gameplay yet, which is a bummer. It looks to be a pretty linear, narrative-driven campaign, but we're trying to hold out our hype until we see that sweet co-op gameplay. Finishing off the month is the other game rivaling Sons of the Forest for our biggest attention, and that's Warhammer 40k Darktide. We've played our fair share of horde shooters, some good, some not so much, but we really want to find one that finally wows us. This could be it. It's the same team that brought us the award-winning Vermintide series, so we're feeling pretty good about that. Previews have already been rolling out, and one of our favorite review channels, SkillUp, gave it some pretty high praise. You can create your own customizable characters, choose from unique classes, and master both range and melee combat. We've got high hopes, and our only true worry is if we can finish enough of it to potentially rank it in our top 5 co-op games of the year, if it's good enough.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and little Timmy was hoping for a new December co-op game release. I don't know, something like Redfall or Suicide Squad. Yeah, that'd be real nice. Well, too bad, Timmy, those games got delayed to next year, and there is literally no December releases for us to freaking cover. Instead, we're gonna shift gears towards a couple games that don't have firm release dates, but have yet to post their delay.jpg on Twitter. We're holding out hope that these games still come out this year and don't join the growing number of delay announcements. Seriously, so many games delayed this year, it's crazy. First up is Halo Infinite's co-op campaign. The long-awaited co-op mode was supposed to launch soon after the full release, but didn't get a beta until late July. As it stands, we don't have a release window other than it was rumored to come out late August, which, yeah, that didn't happen. We could see this hitting sometime this fall though, and we're still super excited about it. Infinite's campaign looks great and would be even better in co-op, especially since it's semi-open world. This would be our first Halo game, and considering we bought our first Xbox this year, come on 343, make it happen for us. Next up, we have River City Girls 2, which is a co-op beat 'em up and looks like a great follow-up to the first game. This was originally slated for summer 2022, but again, that didn't happen. And now it seems like the game will release in December, exclusive to Japan though, leaving the rest of the world hanging with no release window other than sometime in 2022. So look, we really hope this comes out because after all the fun we had with TMNT, we're dying to play another co-op beat 'em up. The sequel features 6 different characters to play, but I think the real standout feature here is this banging soundtrack. Yeah, I want to be fighting goons to this song as soon as possible, please. Our last game here is the one we've heard the least about. It's been over a year since we've heard any updates on this game, but man, we're still holding out hope this comes out. Wizard with a Gun is an online co-op survival game with procedurally generated biomes, and it looks awesome. You play as, well, wizards with guns, of course. You can craft special ammunition, unique armor, and there's even some base building elements here. Like Andrew said, the co-op survival game genre is one we're really digging lately with games like The Forest and V Rising, and we certainly wouldn't mind adding Wizard with a Gun to that list. Devolver Digital, if you're watching, give us an update please. And maybe have it come out in December, a little Christmas miracle for Timmy, the kid deserves it.
There you have it, 15 co-op games still releasing this year to look forward to. Hopefully, at least a few of these games got you excited for what is to still come this year, just like it did for us. We love making these kinds of videos alongside our co-op monthlies because it keeps both of us up to date. It's a nice reminder that co-op is alive and well. If you want to keep up with more co-op news, please subscribe and help out by liking this video. We'll have the August monthly coming up soon, and a Multiverses review is coming out as soon as we can get to it. Catch us on our streams on Mondays and Thursdays to hang out and chat if that's your kind of thing. If not, we'll catch you next time on another episode of the Co-op Bros.